Today we're going to look at how to solve a quadratic equation using the quadratic formula. In a previous video we looked at how to solve it by completing the square. In this video we'll look at how to do so using the quadratic formula. Most people prefer to use the quadratic formula as opposed to completing the square. If you're solving a quadratic equation, both methods will get you to the same answer. Sometimes a quadratic formula will not give you your answer in a simplified form, which will require more work to simplify it, but it is easier getting to the initial answer as opposed to the steps involved in completing the square. So let's look at the basics of how we use the quadratic formula. First, we must have an equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, where these numbers a, b, and c, these are just constant values. If this is the case, our solution x will be equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. At first glance, this formula may seem a little bit big, may seem complex, but it's quite simple in practice. So let's look at an example. If we have an equation 3x squared minus 4x equals 7. Now, at first glance, again, you may think you can go ahead and plug it in the formula, but remember the basic form of a quadratic equation here is set equal to 0. So we need to subtract 7 first to write it as 3x squared minus 4x minus 7 equals 0. From here, we can assign that our a value is 3, the coefficient there. Our b value is negative 4. Take note of that because in this example on top we have plus bx. Since this is minus 4x, our b value is negative 4. And it will be the same here for our c value. Since it's minus, c will equal negative 7. So from here we can simply plug these numbers into our formula to get the solution. X will be equal to negative b, which is negative 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared, again negative 4, minus 4 times our a value of 3 times our c value of negative 7, and all of this divided by 2 times our a value 3. So this is our solution. Now we must simply simplify it from here. So x will be equal to negative 4, which is just positive 4, plus or minus the square root of negative 4 squared, which is 16, minus 4 times 3, which is 12, times negative 7, which gives us negative 84. And all of that divided by 2 times 3, which is 6. Simplifying farther, we get x equals 4 plus or minus the square root of 16 plus 84, because here these two negatives cancel each other to make it a positive, again divided by 6, which we can then simplify farther because 16 plus 84 under the radical is 100, and again all divided by 6. Now from here we can simplify it because we can take the square root of 100, it's a perfect square, and we get x equals 4 plus or minus 10, all divided by 6, which then to get our final answer we will say that x equals 4 plus 10 over 6, and x will equal 4 minus 10 over 6, which we can simplify once again to get our final simplified answer, which is x equals 14 over 6, which simplifies to being 7 over 3, and x equals 4 minus 10, which is negative 6 over 6, which gives us negative 1.